everybody, it's Dr. Tay here for another episode of Kitchen Science. And today we're going to do something that you've probably never done before. We're going to make an egg naked without peeling the shell and bouncy enough where you could bounce it like a ball on your countertop. So I know you're asking yourself, how exactly can you make an egg de-shell without peeling it? And how can you do that without boiling it? And how exactly can you make an egg bouncy where you can bounce it on the countertop? I'm going to show you in this new experiment, so stay tuned. Today's learning principles are membrane, permeability, and we're going to explore acid-base reactions using the shell of your egg in this reaction. The supplies you're going to need are eggs, a clear container with a top, and white vinegar. To get started with our learning principles, we have to understand what a membrane is. Well, this egg has a few different membranes that protect the inside or the yolk from being disturbed in any way possible. The membrane is that protective barrier. It only allows certain things to come through and certain things to go out. You have to remember that an egg usually has a developing organism in here, or a chick or baby chicken. While developing, the shell and the membranes on the outer shell or inner shell make sure they get the proper nutrients to the inside, as well as the proper things coming out for disposal. It also makes sure that things that would harm the chick is not able to get in. So the membrane is kind of like an army. It makes sure that the inside here will not be disturbed by protecting it with whatever machinery it has. But you have different types of protection, which is the permeability of the membrane. The permeability of the membrane basically describes what it will or will not allow inside or past the membrane barrier. In particular, the egg membrane allows moisture and air to go through its pores. Pores are the opening of the membrane that allows certain things to go through based on size. Now that we know what a membrane is and we know about the permeability, let's get started with the experiment so we can see the acid-base reaction that is caused by the egg combined with the vinegar. Step 1, you're going to simply just put your egg inside your bowl. Step 2, you're going to fill your bowl with the white vinegar. And you want to submerge it so that no part of the shell is uncovered. And then I'm going to place my covering on top. As I said, we're going to incubate it. Incubation period is something that scientists use to determine how long they had to wait for the process of their experiment to take place. So we're going to incubate this egg. But if you take a closer look, do you see the bubbles forming inside of your bowl? Well, the bubbles are forming because of the acid-base reaction that we just created. Well, we already know from previous experiments, particularly those with the rainbow volcano. In vinegar, you have acetic acid. Acid being the key word there plays a big part in the acid-base reaction we just started. But what is in the eggshell is important as well to understand this acid-base reaction. Well, in the eggshell is calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is the base that this acid from the vinegar is reacting with. So the bubbles that are given off is a part of the reaction, as a result of this acid-base reaction. The bubbles themselves are carbon dioxide bubbles. So now we're going to let them incubate. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, and welcome back to Kitchen Science with Dr. Tay. And remember, we're continuing our experiment for the bouncing naked egg. I did say that I was going to try to look at the egg after a whole 24 hours, but I was afraid that it wasn't ready yet. So I extended the incubation time to 48 hours. And now it's time to reveal our results. So The first thing that we're gonna do is take the egg out of the vinegar. If you are sensitive to the vinegar, then you can definitely use some gloves. I'm totally not against that. It's not going to change anything when it comes to the actual experiment. Probably just protect you more. And already with feeling the egg, you can tell like it's just a different texture altogether. The shell is no longer hard and it's gone, it's dissolved. Now, as a reminder, the shell has completely dissolved because the calcium carbonate within the shell reacted with the acetic acid from the vinegar, and they created an acid-base reaction which removed the shell completely. So now you have your bouncy egg, and it's naked because it no longer has the shell. But is this still an egg? It's a great question that you're probably asking yourself right now. Well, let's find out. I'm gonna take the same egg that we have now made naked and bouncy, and I'm gonna use a butter knife to cut through to see whether or not the yolk still is within here. Now, all we did was remove the shell from the egg, so it should still have whatever it contained in the beginning, which is the yolk, right? Let's see what happens. And there you go. Yolk is still in the egg. And we made a bouncy and naked egg by removing the outer membrane or the shell and dissolving it within a vinegar, which has the acidic acid that reacts with the calcium carbonate, which is inside the shell. We did an acid-base reaction during our experiment while we made this egg bouncy and naked. Thank you for joining me today. I had so much fun during this experiment. Come join me again during Kitchen Science. I'm your host, Dr. Tay, and let's have some more fun through science.